Ladies and gentlemen, today in Marvel Contest of Champions news, we have so much to cover. We have some new information on Act 5 and the bosses and the title of the event, as you can see on screen. And we also have some more information about next month's event, which is going to be an X-Men themed event, and the new characters that are being added. So this kind of all kick-started yesterday when Trikos found some leaked information from apparently a credible source. We're going to look into Trikos' comments on that in a little bit. But apparently all of this is credible and available on a video that was leaked somewhere in the internet. So I think what somebody's managed to do is get this video. It might have been uploaded early to the App Store or maybe to YouTube, and they've data mined it, taken some screenshots. It might be set to unlisted at the moment, and that's kind of my speculation as to how this information and data was obtained. So kind of the free screenshots that are circulating around at the moment is the Act 5 Elders War one, which is amazing. There's so much hype for this. Let's talk about that in a little bit more detail in a second. Then we've also got the X-Men one, an in-game screenshot of Archangel, and then also a screenshot of Psylocke winning a match. Archangel and Psylocke, the introduction of these two characters really does excite me because there's so much interesting stuff that you can do with both of them. So I'm very intrigued to find out a little bit more about them. But let's quickly talk about the X-Men stuff. So earlier this week as well, Trikos managed to get some information from MCOC Mod about the next monthly event quest, which is apparently called X-Enforcers, and the titles have been data mined, so it's both Psychic Assassin and Dark Angel. So that seems to fit pretty well with the two characters, Archangel and also Psylocke, that we have seen screenshots now of in the game. And if they are fake, which I'm pretty sure they're not, then somebody has gone through a great deal of effort to put in an incredible amount of detail, especially when it comes to Archangel. I mean, he looks absolutely incredible. So, you know, if this is fake, I would be very, very surprised. And also, just going back to sort of Trikos' sources and comments on Reddit, he said that it was an anonymous source. In fact, these are screenshots of a video. Line isn't the source. A Spanish guy sent it to me way before the pics were online, and I already found the source, and yeah, the source has a source. It is a real leak. So apparently, guys, this is a real video, 100% legit, and also this does tie into kind of the Marvel Contest of Champions 2017 timeline, which, you know, does tease Act 5, does tease Grandmaster as the final boss for Act 5, and is kind of set to be early 2017. We thought it would kind of be around, like, you know, the start of February, end of January, but it looks like it's probably going to be around the end of February, and I imagine they're going to go with a similar release schedule of one chapter every month, maybe building up to Guardians of the Galaxy, and that might have a very interesting tie-in with the final boss of Act 5, which we're going to go into some speculation on that in a little bit. So as you can see, this is the 2017 timeline. So you got Act 5 quite early on, then you've got a mystery event, and you have Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Spider-Man Homecoming, and what is speculated to be maybe Punisher versus Carnage, but we're not too sure about that. But just to show you, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, that releases, I believe it's the end of May, so, you know, Act 5 should be coming around this time, and this was from a presentation at Brazil Comic-Con. So all of the puzzle pieces are finally starting to fit together, which is really, really cool. So let's go back to the Act 5 screenshot, the Elders War, and have a look at some of the chapters, have a look at some of the blown up images. So as you can see, the Grandmaster and also the Collector are featured in the image here. So for the first chapter, not really too sure what the boss is going to be in that. It looks like in chapter 2, very obviously the Collector is going to be the final boss, just looking from the silhouette there. And in chapter 3, it looks like the Grandmaster is going to be the final boss. However, the big speculation is who is going to be the final act, chapter 4 boss of Act 5. Like, that is the really, really big question here. And a lot of people on Reddit, you know, there's a big discussion going on about it. And I think the most likely scenario seems to be the Magus, who might be featured in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as a potential bit of a spoiler for that. Well, I'm not too sure if it's a spoiler or not, because there have been a lot of speculation articles. But, you know, as you can see here, he's got a very, very nice man bun going on. And as we can see from the silhouette, although it kind of looks like a bit more of a female character from the silhouette, so I'm not entirely sure if it's 100% legit going to be Magus, because, you know, the chin does look very soft, the bun does look a little bit more oval in comparison to Magus's, which is a bit of a line-up and then kind of like a wispy spiral at the end. Maybe not the best description of a man bun you've ever heard, but it possibly could be. But also, the chest as well appears to contain, I don't know, breasts. Breasts is the word there, basically. So I'm not too sure if it confirms it's Magus, although he does have some pecs going on. So, I don't know, it could be Magus, it could not be. It kind of seems like a bit more of a female silhouette, so it's a little bit hard to tell on that one. However, regardless of which, Act 5, I'm just so incredibly excited for. I've been waiting for this for so long. I feel like it's going to be so much fun when it comes out. I'm kind of predicting the difficulty of Act 5 to be a stepping stone between the Road to the Labyrinth and also the Labyrinth of Legends. Because in my opinion, those are the two most difficult pieces of content in the game. And between Road to the Labyrinth Chapter 4 and Labyrinth of Legends, there is this huge jump in difficulty. So I kind of predict that Act 5 is going to be a similar stepping stone in the way that, you know, Act 4 was to the Realm of Legends itself. But I'm very interested to see, you know, the level of difficulty that it turns out to be. And I imagine there are going to be some paths, you know, in some of the more difficult chapters, like Chapter 4, that may be even a little bit more difficult than some of the content in the Labyrinth of Legends. Although that's pretty hard to say, and I don't necessarily think it will, because there are some really difficult enemies, especially on the harder paths, that have about 3.3 million health, and like loads and loads of crazy stuff. You've got like a Doctor Strange, you've got a Wolverine X-23, you've got Electros, so some really tricky stuff there. But I'm very intrigued to what actually Chapter 4 holds, and kind of what the level of difficulty is going to be there. Again, I cannot wait for this to come out. As soon as Act 5 comes out, like, we are going to be live streaming all of it on the initial completion, and then kind of my plan is to go back and look at every fight individually that's kind of like classified as a bit of a challenge, and then look at ways that, you know, the most effective and easy way that newer players could possibly do that. But again, that entirely depends on the level of difficulty of Act 5. But regardless of which, this seems pretty legit. I'm very excited for Act 5. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of these new leaks in the comments below. Do you think they're legit? Do you think they're fake? Are you excited for them? I am like 95% convinced these are 100% legit. But again, only time will tell. I expect that we're going to probably see an announcement about Act 5 within the next week or so, like really hopefully, but it might still be like 2 weeks away before they release any initial info on it. They do have this habit of Marvel Contest of Champions of just announcing something like the day before it releases. Like they do that with every event. I mean, you can like roughly tell with events, you know, when they're going to come out, because they usually like chain on to the end of each other. But, you know, they do have a very bad habit of, like, everything is like, hey, guys, this event's coming, and it's coming tomorrow, so you got to be ready for it. Anyway, I'm very excited. Should be really cool. So much excitement coming for the future of Marvel Contest of Champions. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and have an absolutely fantastic day.